video. Through Our Lady, through our Lord, we prevail. Very tired dealing with mostly VA, mostly. And then there are things that they do can be problematic, and the things HHS does. I wanted to ask for a hearing and appeal the decision to take away our benefits, but I can't because they refuse to fix my account, my Bridges account. Nobody will fix it. They give me a phone number to call, and the phone number they say, "Oh, we can't fix that." If you can get through. It goes right to the same number, the 1-800 number you call when you want to talk to a benefits processor or a social worker. So I don't even know how I would do that. But this is about the VA in Saginaw. Dealing with them. They use this software called Vista Imaging, which was used back in the day. But being as they have a lot of contract providers that are from civilian, medical clinics or hospitals, they have been using EMR. I would say a great portion. They only have, I would say, less than 100 or 200 people there that are direct appointees. Maybe 100, 200 that are short-term temp appointees. The vast majority of providers there are contract. And of course, they don't want people to know this, but I dig, and I'm not going to be lied to. I want to know the truth. That's why I seek, even though I make a lot of mistakes and I'm a sinner, I'm going to seek God's face. Being far from perfection, far. Sometimes I band-aid to deal with life or to deal with health issues. It's an interesting moral theology question. Is committing a sin, whether major or minor, it's a sin, but it helps somebody with a medical issue. Is it sinful? It's an interesting thing to debate over coffee, because it's all about intention. But anyway, now they use Vista imaging, so it's really difficult to get the documents you need to give to C&P, so that you could, to VBA, the intake center, so that you can get your claim adjudicated. They put so much stuff. You see it in your file, your blue button file. If you go to Saginaw VA, Saginaw Alita Elutz VA Medical Center, Lieutenant Alita Elutz. If you go there, you'll find again and again and again, scanned in Vista, see, and then they'll put little notes of use code blah blah blah. It's just crazy, because outside of that VA, nobody has access to that. Nobody. Not even somebody logging into a larger system. Outside of that VA, let's say they're a radiologist that is an overflow. There's some stuff that they can't log into. Some of that software can't be remotely accessed. Some can, some can't. But Veterans Benefit Administration, they don't have access to it. They have to request access, which, if they don't get it in time, veterans will be denied. They won't even defer on that. They'll just deny. Veterans are getting messed over. And if you don't get that rating increase, that means, you're still, some of your medical care is still dangling from a string. And then providers, sometimes if you read through your file, providers will put comments in there. When you sit down and think about the comments, it's like insulting you or saying you're faking or saying comments like, oh, yeah, this medical issue is not really that serious. I had a medical provider put in my file, um, ignore fluctuations in pulse oxygen as it's a symptom of long-term lung disease. What the? Ignore? Oh, there's another thing about a lot of providers do this. I don't like it, but you got to pick your battles because medical care providers sometimes they can be quick to retaliate. But when people put a pulse ox on your finger, they go with the highest number. That's like asking somebody for their income, and they go for the highest number that they made for the year. Oh yeah, I made $100,000. Oh, what do you mean you won the lottery? Well, yeah, I earn $100,000 a year. No, you don't. You earn 25 grand a year. You earned the lottery, or you won the lottery last year. I'm asking for your income. I'm not asking for your net. Anyway, I think that's net. But anyway, so yeah, it can be rather problematic for veterans. You can't get the stuff you need. So if you pass the generally 30-day window when they give you time, you'll be denied. And also, if you bring up to see, I did this. I went to talk to C&P because somebody's stolen my identity again. This time they're trying to steal my case, get documents and stuff. And they they didn't do anything. But the lady that runs C&P, she closed the door. They don't like to talk to people. And I think that they're the ones that keep giving me contractors that get stuff denied. That's what I think. And then also, you can't forget, like I'm talking about here, they use that software where it's harder than heck for VBA to get your files. They'll have to ask for a CD-ROM or snail mail, um, which, could cause your claim to get denied. I mean, or deferred. So it's just something really concerning and irritating, because they treat people, veterans, like we don't matter. And people that aren't trained in reading people or questioning or interrogation or interviews, you know they don't see that stuff. But some of us, we see right through it. The smiles, the pats on the back, the little squeeze on the shoulder. It's fake. It's fake. And some people are really good. I've seen people, they just genuinely seem so interested. They pat somebody on the back, squeeze their shoulder, especially if they're female, do the little, turn your head and kind of lean your neck in a little bit, like, oh yeah, I'm into you. I care about your well being. But the minute you turn around, boom, it's all gone. It's fake. And I think of a lot of old timer vets, they think people are sincere. They're not. Like the guy that I met, real elderly guy from, where is he from? He's from somewhere way up in the thumb. Um, and he's at this VA. His wife has cancer. She's in the hospital. He's getting some medical care and stuff. Um, Taking a break from caring for his wife in hospice. I forget where they were in hospice. But they had him busy all day long. I think he said he got there at like 7 or 8 in the morning, and they had him going from department to department to department all day long. And he's trying to find ways with his pension and his other benefits to, try to get more care for his wife, more help. In addition to his own medical care, um, they kept him busy. Nobody offered him a break. Nobody gave him time to eat lunch or even drink water. Now, when you go somewhere for an examination, a lot of this stuff is reimbursable, or they can provide it outright. But I can't. It's just makes me sick to think that that old timer who's taking care of his wife, that they didn't even give him time or let him get something to eat or drink a glass of water. Horrible. I know people that work there and they have jobs, but the kind of care I'm seeing makes me sick to my stomach. Not just myself, but other people, the way they're being cared for. So much retaliation. So much. They put it right in the notes. A lot of people that are emotionally immature, they don't handle questioning or being challenged. They can't handle it. They're abusive. It's unbelievable. And then they have the record issues. Some stuff you can't get easily. And it's not the records department. It's not their fault. And this is one of the VAs in the state that's having so many problems going to a fully EMR, full EMR, electronic medical record, digital, fully everything, because of things like Vista imaging. People do it just to retaliate. Sometimes I think some providers use it just to retaliate because they know it's harder than heck for the veteran. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of biting of the tongue, and a lot of temperance to finally get the stuff scanned in there. Provider won't give it to you. Nurse won't give it to you. Matter of fact, there's a couple of providers with the primary care teams. The nurses, they're not very nice. Some are, but I've seen a couple that are just not very nice people at all. And they won't give it to you. They'll send you to privacy. Privacy they have their own certain system, the way things are done. So just to get a copy of some pathology test or something, or PFT for asthma, no. You got to go through a whole bunch of hoops to get it. And if that provider didn't code it right, then you got to get it coded right. All kinds of stuff they do to people. So, I'm thinking of stopping going there. I'm tired of the abuse. I'm tired of, getting a provider and then they go 2 or 3 steps up the stairs and then it just stops. Too many people that don't carry things through, and people have attitudes. And when you be your own advocate and make sure things are followed through and tests are done and, ask questions about your care to make sure that you're making the right decisions based on the science, and see that your provider concurs with what you're thinking, you get told you bother them too much. And nobody explains anything, and people point the finger at other people too much. And they always retaliate. They know it hurts veterans if you mess with the ratings. Then that budget for your medical care goes down. Oh, you just lost 30%. Well, now we only do this. Then you can't. When you're low percentage, you're limited to what kind of blessing you can give your employer as far as tax rebates. And you get no down payment assistance. The waiving of it for a home loan. They could keep you homeless. And if you have so many medical issues, and they say, "Oh no, you You can't do too many at one time. No, no, we can't do that. Like you're trying to fake. Yeah, I'm so tired of this. So much has happened to my family because of this VA, and there's never been any justice. And supposedly, a month ago, I talked to one of the administrators, but I don't know. Only one or two things improved. And then after they improved, they went right back to the old way. And because the administrator requested this and this to be done, to be looked into, um, they gave me used equipment.